Hello, everyone. Welcome to Motivation Monday. I'm Geil Browning, CEO and founder of Emergenetics International, and I have two guests with me today. Abby Medved, would you introduce yourself? And Abby, as you do that, would you tell everybody what your Emergenetics profile is, please?
Yeah, so I'm Abby Medved, as Gail mentioned. I am a client strategist here at Emergenetics. My profile is I'm a trimodal thinker in structural, social, and conceptual, and my behaviors are second, third expressive, second, third assertive, and first, third flexible.
Okay, thank you very much. And here's Ken Champagne. Would you introduce yourself and tell us where you're from and what your profile is?
Of course, Gail. I'm Ken Champagne. I'm a principal sales trainer with WorldPay, which is a global payments company based in Cincinnati, Ohio. I'm 77% conceptual, third assertive, expressive, and first third flexible.
Interesting. So I have two people who have different profiles, but they're here today because we wanted to talk about the differences in generations based on Principle 6 in the book Work That Works. That principle is let your people live to work, not work to live. A job is more than the time in between vacations. So I'd like to talk to you, just ask you some questions about work. Abby, let's start with you. When you take a job, what kind of roles are you looking for? What kind of company are you looking for?
Yeah, so typically I start by asking myself a couple of questions. What do I value? What does the company value? How can I make an impact at this company, and how is this company making an impact at the world? It's really a lot more about their culture and their mission and their goals rather than the role itself.
Okay, good. Thank you. How about you, Ken?
Well, I would say that I don't look for jobs often because I tend to stay in the same position for a number of years or in some cases decades. But what I'm looking for is the opportunity to contribute to a team and where I have the flexibility to reinvent myself perhaps a couple of times during a stay with a company.
So when you started off to get a job, you pretty much thought you'd stay at that company for a very long time.
I did, yes.
Yeah. And that's pretty interesting, especially for somebody who has so much conceptual thought. You still thought you could, reinvent yourself at the company?
Yeah, I think that as the needs of the company change, it's my responsibility to reinvent myself and be a part of that change, and in some cases to actually drive that change.
Okay, good. How about you, Abby? Do you think that you'll be in Emergenetics for the rest of your life?
I think that's up to you, Gail. And for me, it comes down to the impact I'm making at the organization and the impact that the organization is making. I'll be here as long as I feel that I can be a positive value for this company and that this company is being a positive value to the world. Once those ideas shift and change, then I believe it is my time to look for that same value elsewhere.
Nice. Well, let's talk about vacations. Do you like going on vacations, Abby?
I love going on vacations. Yes, I think vacations are very helpful for me. They let me recharge and get my energy back. So when I do come back to work, I'm refreshed and ready to go. For me, I want to really find that balance of work-life. So that way my aunts and uncles and parents, they've all been waiting for retirement, and that's all they talk about nowadays. And I don't want to be waiting for retirement and counting down the days until I get there. I want to make sure that I have a life that I'm happy to live, and I spend a lot of time at work, but I also need to take some time for myself.
Good, nice. Have you talked to your parents about what they're thinking versus what you're thinking?
They know, and they are definitely more of the opinion of Ken. And my dad is actually retiring this summer, and it's all he's been able to talk about for the last year. And my mom will never retire. So I've had some great examples, and I know that I'm a little different.
Good, thank you. How about you, Ken?
Well, I too enjoy taking vacations, but to me it's more of a gray area. So I don't check out. I still keep up on email and attend meetings in some cases and do what I need to do to make sure that I'm not coming back to a stack of email or tasks that have put me behind.
Well, and you told me a story that I put in the book about a hunting trip. Would you elaborate on that?
Yeah, the story that you're referring to was a vacation that I had been planning for a number of months. And it was a hunting trip up in the mountains of Colorado. And the planning for that took several months to get ready for that trip. And a week or two before the trip started, I found out that I needed to do a presentation in Cincinnati in the middle of that week. Didn't think much of it, and it wasn't really a big issue for me. When I went hunting, I packed my camouflage and my business clothes and jumped out to Cincinnati on a Tuesday, and I was back on Thursday morning to complete my trip.
That's amazing. What do you think about that story, Abby?
I can definitely appreciate the dedication to work and really wanting to be there, to support your role and fulfill what your responsibilities are. And for me, I think that I trust my team to be able to kind of fill in with clients while I'm gone. I tell them that they can reach me in case of emergencies, but for the most part, I don't check emails, I don't answer calls, I turn off my work phone, and I really just try to check out.
Thank you both. Two people from two different generations and how they look at work. Well, the interesting thing, as a business owner, I want to honor all of these generations. And I also want to honor the fact that their Emergenetics profiles are different and that we can communicate differently based on their profiles. Well, if you want to know more about this, look at chapter 6 in Work That Works. And I'll look forward to talking to you next month when we talk about principle 7, the love chapter.